ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Banished with Gazbeard, and we're just entering year 5 of our little town. And just to recap on what we've done so far, we started off down here. No, we didn't. I'm telling you lies. We started off up here. This was our initial barn that the game gave us when we started. And we've cleared a whole bunch of forest up here and a load of stone and iron, and we've built 9 houses up here so far, plus a blacksmith, a tailor, a herbalist, and we've just and a fishing dock. We've just added a forester's lodge in order to reforest the spaces up in this area to keep the supply of lumber, logs for the woodcutter much closer to home. This is the main stockpile of the village. I've just released these 3 houses for building. The tavern has just had all its materials supplied and the builders are starting work on it. We've laid down the market square and the 2 trading docks, but we're not releasing them for building yet because we don't have enough supplies for them. The hospital and the schoolhouse are in position, but I'm thinking of moving that schoolhouse, to be honest with you, and I think I'll do that right now. So I just click on the removal and destruction tool, remove structure, and do it like that. Then I go into the town services, click on the schoolhouse and rotate it, because I want to see the front door. I want to see the little darlings going to school. We just make sure that's on the same alignment as the hospital. It is. So we put that there, put that back on hold. That gives us a little bit of a meeting square in front of the barn, and I may in fact put a well in there. We don't need it because we've got disasters turned off, which when you're learning the game is a good idea, and it's one of the key tips that I can give. So to summarize with what we're doing here, you can lay down where you want the buildings and you can pause them using the pause button in the bottom right corner of the individual building's interface until you need them, but at least you've then got them in the position that you want them, and it means that you don't have to start demolishing buildings in order to build the ones that you really want. We've also built a bridge across the river here next to the fishing dock and laid in the start of the roads over here, because that's going to be one of our primary farming areas. Probably livestock in both the upper and lower areas, because we already have crops on this side of the river. We need to expand the crop area, but not yet, because we need a trading dock open to get more seeds. At the moment the only thing we can grow is cabbages. We've added a second barn here for primarily the gatherer's hut and for the hunter's lodge to put their edibles into, but also to service these lower 2 fields and have a barn closer to them than this one up here, which guarantees they'll be able to complete their harvest each year. And we've also got a forester's lodge down here that is servicing this area in order to keep this area forested for both the hunter and the gatherer to find what they need in order to supply the town. So our population is up to 37. It got to 37 just before the winter started. We've kept them fed through the winter. As you can see, we're now at 600 stored food, which means that the 3 fields are viable. A 4th would allow that amount to grow significantly each winter, and with 3 new houses coming online very soon, we're going to expect a population burst, I would imagine up to about 45 or 46 quite quickly, at which point we will need the school. We need to get that operating quite quick, but first we want the tavern up, and the tavern is going to be making ale from berries, and that will be another source of supply for the traders. So they'll have the tools from the blacksmith, the firewood from the woodcutter, the herbs from the herbalist, the clothing from the tailor, and the ale from the tavern. They'll also be able to get a good price for venison, now that the hunter's producing what appears to be an excess of venison. And just verify that in there. Oh, there's none in there. What about in that one? There's none in there either. Oh dear. Maybe we're going to need to get a second hunter out just to get that going. In terms of the 4 buildings that I've released for building, the tavern now has all its materials and it's under construction. The first stone house is waiting for more logs, as are the other 2. So let's get it going, and let's get these guys working. You'll see the fields get filled up with planting quite soon. And we definitely need to get these children into school. They're wandering everywhere. Also, getting them into school, increasing their education, means that our production will increase. Logs remain a major challenge for us right now. We really need to start harvesting heavily in the woods, and I'm just about to say that they can harvest the forest down here at the back of this barn, just to get some logs into the stockpile for construction. And let's just watch how they construct the tavern. And in fact, that house is going up as well. That's going up nicely. There's the tavern up. So we want to add a brewer, and alcohol limit 500. He's never going to get to that. Berries he can produce. We had a stock of berries in that barn. Yeah, 34 of them. We've got venison now, 100. And these first 2 stone houses are now materials complete. We're short on firewood. What I'm going to do is I'm going to authorize cutting this wood across here as well. We'll start it to that from there to there. Short on both logs and firewood, in fact. He is only planting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out some orchards here, even though we don't have the seed for them. And I'm trying to remember the sizes. So that's 8 wide. I think it has to be an odd number to get the maximum from the orchard. So 7 by 10. So we'll make it 7 by 12, and then we can put a second orchard here. And once we get the seeds, we can have those 3 orchards supplying the brewery. Might as well bring a road down there. And we may even get another one across there at 90 degrees. Let's just try that. Not quite. So if we'll let him just get those berries. That's it. And then we'll just remove that, and we'll put that right up against there. 7 by 10. Or did we make it 7 by 12? I can't remember. 7 by 12. That's 7 by 12. There we are. Makes the best use of the space. Right, that house is built. So that's our 3 stone houses built. We can now authorize the schoolhouse to be built. That's our first 4 orchards ready for when we get the seed trader come round. But we need the trading post before we can do that. Or have we got a seed? Oh, we've got peach seeds. Excellent. Make it 101. Increase the number of farmers. Make it peach seeds. 1 of 1. Increase the number of farmers. So we'll get the first 2 orchards underway. In fact, we've got enough labourers that we can get them all underway. I forgot that you get a seed for crops and fruit when you start on medium difficulty. So we can get those underway. Should have had them underway a couple of years ago, in all honesty. But at least we've got them underway now. And what we can do, it's not essential, but we can, is we can take a road across here, oops, to join up with this one. Makes it quicker for them to get through to the barn. So we should now have 7 farmers. We have 7 farmers, and there should be 1 on each orchard and 1 on each field. There are. Now I've made the orchards quite small because they are quite a lot of work for 1 person. And let's just have the schoolhouse window open so we can see how it's doing. Shortage of logs again. So let's authorize cutting down those 2 trees and that one. And let's get this corner cut. We'll do a harvest everything on that. In fact, we'll do a harvest everything from up here down to, we'll take that. One of the things that we want to do is, in preparation for the farming side over here, we want to get our buildings and stuff into place here. So one of the first things we're going to want is a barn that is fairly central to the whole situation. So if we aim to put the storage barn there, Move it back from the road one. We'll just put that on hold. And we're going to want a stockpile over here. Put it next to the bridge. Put it there. And we're going to want a stone house across here. We'll put that on hold. We'll probably do with another orchard in there, but we'll wait for now. Let's just speed things up a little bit. Still short on logs. School needs another 7, and the woodcutter definitely needs some. So we're not going to release any more buildings because we're coming into early autumn. We need the logs for the woodcutter, for firewood for the winter. So we'll have to build the hospital next year. The school's ready to be built. We should see the wood stockpile starting to build now, as well as the firewood stockpile. As we're rushing through the autumn. And a bunch of those children should change to students as soon as the schoolhouse goes up. And if you look at this set of numbers here, the set of 3 divided by slashes, it's 28 adults, 0 students, 13 children. As soon as I assign a labourer to become a teacher, that number should change. It hasn't. Maybe all the children are too young. We're still low on logs, firewood and iron. However, we are starting to collect a stockpile of wood over here, which is good. We're going to have to push them out a bit further. do a harvest everything across here. In fact, we'll take it right to the edge there, collect all of that. That should keep them busy. We're into winter now, and I need to slow it down a little bit so that I can see what they're up to. I'm particularly interested in what these deer are up to. I'm thinking I'd like to have another gatherer's hut here. Take advantage of all this woodland that we're putting up here. Yeah, we're short on firewood. We're not keeping ahead on firewood at all. We're doing okay for food now. Although that is going to drop back to about 500 or 600 before the end of summer harvest. So we probably need an extra field, especially as our population is now up to 42. And our forester can now start harvesting. He's got his area planted. I think we're going to need this area cleared out soon. We're low on iron as well as wood, so we'll do a harvest all down here. Might as well take it right to the end of that peninsula. And we're coming into late winter. It'll be spring soon. We've managed to get through the winter without losing anybody to either hunger or the cold, which is a good sign. How's our herbs doing? She hasn't produced any. Oh dear. Hasn't produced any at all. It may be that she's in totally the wrong place and we need to reposition her. Perhaps put her down behind the barn. And we're into early spring, so it's time as always to pause the town and to thank you all for watching, to ask that if you're enjoying it, please give the video a like, click the subscribe button, check the video description for links to my Discord, Facebook, Patreon, Twitter and Twitch, as well as to my loot store where you can get t-shirts and mugs, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a great week, great day, whatever, and as always from me, many thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.